Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm here today to show you a really different idea for the Hang Your Stocking stamp set and your Big Shot. In the past few weeks, I've shown you several different Christmas card ideas, and today I thought it would be fun to show you how to use the same products but to make a Christmas tag. And at the end of the video, I'll show you a second idea using the same layout. So my tag is going to be basic black. I'll have the dimensions for the cardstock here on the video and then also over on my blog after the video is over. And I don't really want my tag to have square corners, so I'm going to use the envelope punch board, and I'm going to use the other side of the board and punch the four corners of my tag so that they're rounded. You can also use this envelope punch board on cards. If you want your card front to be rounded, you can use the board to do that, and it makes these beautiful, perfectly rounded corners. Now to that, I'm going to add a layer of Whisper White, but before I attach it to my tag, I want to do a little bit of stamping. In the Hang Your Stocking stamp set, there's this little image that says to from. I had it sitting across the table, so I had to stop the video to go and pick it up. And I'm going to stamp that image using Real Red. And I'm going to stamp it over here on my tag. I'm going to leave a little room for an embellishment on the left-hand side. Oh, and while I have this out, I am going to stamp the little berries that are also part of the same stamp set. I'm going to stamp them in the top left corner of this scrap of Whisper White cardstock. And then I am going to take my Old Olive ink, and I've got one of the stockings from the Hang Your Stocking stamp set, and I'm going to ink it with Old Olive. Like so. Perfect. And then I have the little holly image. So on this one scrap piece, I'm going to make 3 different purposes for it. And now I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. I've got my magnetic platform and I've got my bottom standard cutting pad. And I'm going to lay on this piece of cardstock that I've stamped on. And then I'm going to use the framelits from that correspond, actually they're thinlits. It's the Christmas Stockings Thinlits dies, and there are thinlits for all of the things that I just stamped. So I'm just going to lay these around. It's hard to see when I'm not sort of standing right on top of it. And then got this little one here. So there's one that goes around the holly and around the berries and around the stocking. And then I've got a scrap piece of basic black cardstock, and I'm going to take one final thinlet, and this is going to be the topping, the topper for my stocking. There we go. Let's see if it worked. Okay, so I've got the berries here, and I've got the holly, and I've got the stocking, and I've got the topper. And I think I'm finished with my Big Shot. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the stocking together. So I'm going to bring in, I've got this little silicone sheet, and that way if I get any adhesive beyond what I want to adhere, I'll turn this way. Okay, so I've got the little stocking with the topper, and that again is to color coordinate everything. And then I'm going to add the holly to the top of the stocking. like so. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to pick one of them off the sheet. And there we go, my stocking is ready. And actually I realized I'm not quite finished with my big shot. Because I want to make this a tag, I need to have a hole at the top of my tag. And to do that, I'm going to use one of the thinlits from the Eastern Medallions set. If you have a tiny punch, you could use a punch instead, but I don't have a tiny punch. So I'm going to, I guess I don't need to be too particular about the shape of the, there we go. My magnetic platform is not behaving itself today. When that happens, just keep sliding your cardstock around until it stops pulling. There we go. And then I'll put the top standard cutting pad on. It's the same sandwich as I used before, and that will create a nice hole in the top of my tag. Perfect. All right, so there we go. Now I'm finished with the big shot, and now I can put everything together. So I'm going to adhere this Whisper White layer, and I'm going to adhere it sort of towards the bottom of my tag. Like so. And then I'm going to bring in my stocking. Now I could pop it up a little bit, and I think actually I'll do that. I think I have some Stampin' Dimensionals over here somewhere. Yep, I always have them close by. So I'm going to use 3 Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to pop this stocking up like so. So you can see it's starting to take shape. Now the other thing that you could do, if you wanted to bump this up a little bit, you could use the heel and the toe frame or thinlit from the Christmas stocking thinlits dies, and you could make those black or red, so to try and pull things forward a little bit more. And then the last thing I'm going to do to finish off my tag is I've got some of this old olive sheer ribbon, and I've cut a length of it. And what I'm going to do is fold my ribbon in half, thread it through the hole that I created with my medallion, and then there we go. My Christmas tag is finished and ready to attach to a present this year. So for a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurements for all of the cardstock layers, you can get that over on my blog. I did promise at the beginning of the video that I would show you a second tag idea, and here it is here. So I used the exact same dimensions. I used a piece of designer series paper instead of the Whisper White paper, and then I've got a solid strip of old olive. So this is all old olive. And then I stamped this image and punched it out using the coordinating punch. So now I've got 2 Christmas tag ideas. If you want more Christmas ideas for tags, cards, and gifts ideas, make sure that you subscribe to my newsletters. You can get the link to the subscription box over on my blog, and my newsletters are free. I send a newsletter every week. I'm Terry, I'm nuts about stamping. I hope you'll stamp something beautiful today too. I'll see you next week with a new project idea. Bye for now.